Hi there, it's Annie from the Youth Room at the BB Library, and I'm so glad to see you for another virtual story time. We'll enjoy some stories together, sing songs, and do a craft together as well. Now today I'm thinking a lot about music, so I wanted to share with you a couple of my favorite stories that have some great rhymes in them and nice rhythm to these stories that are all about music. Now the first one of those stories is Zinzinzin, a violin. And this book was written by Lloyd Moss, and the illustrations were done by Marjorie Priceman. And this story is all about different instruments, what noises they make, and people coming together to make music with each other in an orchestra. And another book I love all about music is Hop Lollipop. And this book was written by Susan McElroy Montanari, and the illustrations were done by Brian Pinkney. And this is all about a little girl, Lollipop, who just loves listening and dancing to hip-hop music. So, since we're reading about music today, I thought for our craft we could make something that our friend Lollipop will actually use in Hip-Hop Lollipop, which is a little radio. I actually called this a boombox, which might be dating myself a little bit, but we're just going to use a little toilet paper roll and some construction paper to make our own boombox to listen to music with, and it has a nice little handle so you can kind of carry it around with you. Now to make your radio or boombox, you will need a toilet paper roll. You will also need some construction paper. You will need a pair of scissors. You'll need some glue. You can use tape if you want, that will work as well. And last but not least, you want some markers. You could also use crayons or colored pencils, anything that you like to color with to add just a little bit of design to our radios. And we will make these at the end of our story time together. Now, before we jump in and read our stories together, let's say hello to each other singing our song, Hello Friends. And for this, we're going to use a little bit of American Sign Language, so I'll show you the different signs for it, and then we'll sing it together. So the first sign that we need is hello, and I'm going to just take my hand and give a little salute. Hello. Friends, I'm going to take my two pointer fingers, and I'm going to tap them one on top of the other. Friends. It's time. I'm going to tap my wrist for time. To say, I point to my lips for say, hello, and salute again. Ready to sing? Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. That was great. Now, how about we wake up a couple different body parts, and we'll use some different motions to wake these parts up. And we'll start with our hands, and let's wake them up with some claps. Ready? We wake up our hands with a clap, 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 clap. Clap, 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 we wake up our hands with a clap, 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 and we wiggle our waggles away. We wake up our torsos, that's the middle of our body here, our torsos. And we're gonna wake our torsos up with a little twisting motion like this. Can you do this? Let's try it together, ready? We wake up our torsos with a twist, 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 twist. Twist, 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 we wake up our torsos with a twist, 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 and we wiggle our waggles away. We wake up our heads, moving side to side, side to side, side to side. We wake up our heads, moving side to side, and we wiggle our waggles away. Let's do one big one to get all those wiggles out. Ready? Did you get all of your wiggles out with that? I definitely got all of mine out. So let's go ahead and we'll jump right into our first story for today, Zinzinzin, a violin. And this book was written by Lloyd Moss, and the illustrations were done by Marjorie Priceman. With mournful moan and silken tone, itself alone comes one trombone. Gliding, sliding, high notes go low. One trombone is playing solo. Next, a trumpet comes along and sings and strings its swinging song. It joins trombone no more alone. And one and two-o, they're a duo. We have two playing, so that's called a duo. Fine French horn, its valves all oiled, bright and brassy, loops all coiled. Golden yellow joins its fellows. Two, now three-o, what a trio! 1, 2, 3 makes a trio. Now a mellow friend, the cello. Neck extended, bows a hello. End pin set upon the floor. It makes up a quartet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And soaring high and moving in with Zinzinzin, a violin. Stroking strings that come alive, now quintet, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flute that sends our soul a shiver. Flute that slender silver sliver. A place among the set it picks to make a young sextet. That's 6. With steely keys that softly click, its breezy notes so darkly slick, a sleek, black, woody clarinet. It's number 7, now septet. If 7 makes a septet. Let's see what's next. Gleeful bleeding, sobbing, pleading, through its throbbing double reading. Oboe, please don't hesitate. Come on, make an octet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. An octet. That lazy clown, the big bassoon, he plays low down, we're laughing soon. Here, Grumpy, get your place in line. Give us a nondet. That's 9. The harp descends with angels' wings, a heaven's blend through magic strings. And when it joins the others, then, behold, a chamber group of, let's count them, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That makes 10. The orchestra comes in the hall. They're on the stage, we see them all. The cello, harp, and clarinet, the trumpet, whom we've also met, the oboe, flute, and big bassoon, all eager to get started soon. Trombone, French horn, and violin, all poised and ready. Now, begin. The strings all soar, the reeds implore, the brasses roar with notes galore. It's music that we all adore. It's what we go to concerts for. The minutes fly, the music ends, and so goodbye to our new friends. But when they've bowed and left the floor, if we clap loud and shout, "Encore!" they may come out and play once more. And that would give us great delight before we say a late good night. So we got to see a lot of different instruments in this orchestra, the group of friends all playing together on their different instruments. Now, before we read our next story, I need to get a couple of my wiggles out. Do you want to get some wiggles out with me? I'm going to start by wiggling my fingers a little bit. Can you wiggle your fingers? And what about your toes? Can you give your toes a little wiggle down there? And how about your shoulders? I'm going to wiggle my shoulders a little bit. Can you wiggle your shoulders up and down like this? And how about your nose? That's a tough one. Can you wiggle your nose like a bunny rabbit? Let's try putting them all together. Ready? I wiggle my fingers. I wiggle my toes. I wiggle my shoulders. And I wiggle my nose. Phew. Now all the wiggles are out of me, and I'm as still can be. So let's read our next story all about music. Our next one is Hop Lollipop. And this book was written by Susan McElroy Montanari, and the illustrations were done by Brian Pinkney. Let's see what Lollipop is up to. Mama says, "Lollipop, stop! Stop! Jumping, snapping, non-stop. Arms and shoulders pop and lock. Lollie's dancing hip-hop." You can see she has her little radio, her boombox right there. Hands tutting, knees jutting, arms cranking, body swanking, hip gyration, exultation. She's having a great time dancing. And it looks like her pets are having a lot of fun too. Mama says, "Time for bed, bed." Lollie's arms overhead, dancing down the long hall, bouncing off the tall wall. At Big Sister's doorway, Lollie stops to say, "Hey." Tasha's jam is techno. She glides heel to toe in slow-mo. Flashing her a big grin, Lollie's quick to jump in. Arms and shoulders pop and lock, sisters dancing hip-hop. The clock upon the wall chimes. Daddy calls, "It's bedtime!" Teeth brushing, music crushing, bass thumping, shoulders pumping, head rotation, jubilation. The music's even making brushing their teeth fun. On the floor, Copper snores. Lollie drops to all fours. Boo Boo pounces on her back, curls up snug to take a nap. Do you think that's where Lollie's supposed to go to sleep, though? I don't know if she's supposed to be sleeping on the floor. Let's see what happens next. Lollie yawns, rests her head, as if the dog's a comfy bed. And who's looking in here? Looks like Mom's looking in. What do you think Mom's gonna say to Lollie sleeping on the floor? Mama scoops her up high, up into the sky, then swings Lollie down low. In your room you go, go. Daddy calls, it's fun, hun, but turn the music down some. Lollie finds her PJs, blows kisses to the DJ, spins the music low, low. She can still hear it though. Pulls the covers up tight, shouts out loud, night, night. That's when Daddy comes in, turns the lights to dim, dim. Leans across the big bed, kisses Lollie's forehead. Mwah. Sighing deeply, oh, so sleepy. Last rotation, relaxation. Eyes close, but just then, jumping, snapping, non-stop. Lollie's dreaming hip-hop. So Lollie loves that music so much, she really can't stop dancing, huh? Even in her dreams. Well, thanks so much for reading those great stories with me. How about we sing some songs together now? I thought for our first one, since we got to do a little bit of counting in Zinzinzin, a violin, we could start with our rhyme, 5 Little Kernels. So we're gonna count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're gonna pretend to be nice little popcorn kernels, and we're gonna sizzle in that pot, and then finally we're gonna go pop. Ready? So we're gonna start with 5 kernels in our pot. 5 little kernels sizzling in a pot, when all of a sudden one went pop. 4 little kernels sizzling in a pot, when all of a sudden one went pop. 3 little kernels sizzling in a pot, when all of a sudden one went pop. How many kernels now? 5, 4, 3, 2. 2 little kernels sizzling in a pot, when all of a sudden one went pop. Now how many kernels are left? You have 5, 4, 3, 2, and now that means there's only 1. 1 little kernel sizzling in a pot, when all of a sudden it went pop. Great job! That's a really fun one for getting to move our bodies and get some energy out. And I always like it too because it helps me remember my counting from 5 all the way down to 1. And it can be a little hard to count backwards sometimes, so it's really good to practice that. Now let's go ahead and we'll move our hands a little bit for this next one. Let's do roly-poly. So I'm going to move my hands in a circle just like this for roly-poly. Ready? And let's start. And this one's really nice too because we get to move our hands a little bit and we'll also get to practice our opposites too. Ready? Roly-poly, roly-poly, big, 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 big. Roly, roly-poly, roly, roly-poly, small, 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 small. Roly-poly, roly-poly, out, 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 out. Roly, roly-poly, roly, roly-poly, in, 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 in. Roly-poly, roly-poly, tall, 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 tall. Roly, roly-poly, roly, roly-poly, short, 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 short. Roly-poly, roly-poly, fast, 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 fast. Ready? Roly, roly-poly, roly, roly-poly, slow, 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 slow. Great job on that. Now, for our next one, I thought we could do a little musical one, and I'm going to take a moment here to grab a shaker egg to use. And if you don't have a shaker egg, that's okay. You might want to shake a toy that you have, or you can even just use your hands and give them a couple of shakes like this, or maybe you want to shake them like this. So go ahead and you can find something that you might like to shake for this. And this one is we shake our eggs together. And let's see what we can find. Oh, I have a red shaker egg right here. Perfect. So you can use whatever you found to shake, or again, you might want to use your hands a little bit too. You can always do that. So we'll do a couple different things here. And first we'll start off with our shaker eggs. Right? We shake our eggs together, together, together. We shake our eggs together because it's fun to do. We shake our eggs together, together, together. We shake our eggs together because it's fun to do. We shake them up high and we shake them down low. And we shake them in the middle. We shake our eggs together, together, together. We shake our eggs together because it's fun to do. How about now we try, I'm going to put my egg to the side. How about we try clapping our hands together? Ready? We clap our hands together, together, together. We clap our hands together because it's fun to do. We clap our hands together, together, together. We clap our hands together because it's fun to do. We clap them up high and we clap them down low. And we clap them in the middle. We clap our hands together, together, together. We clap our hands together because it's fun to do. Now, how about we do a dance together, just like Lollie did with her sister Tasha. Ready? We do a dance together, together, together. We do a dance together because it's fun to do. We do a dance together, together, together. We do a dance together because it's fun to do. We dance up high and we dance down low. And we dance in the middle. We do a dance together, together, together. We do a dance together because it's fun to do. And it is pretty fun to dance with our friends, isn't it? Well, let's do one last song together before we start on our craft for today. And for our last song, we're going to sing Goodbye, Friends. So this will be pretty similar to the song we started with, which was Hello, Friends. But this time, instead of saying hello, we're going to say goodbye to our friends. And we'll use a little American Sign Language for this one too. So I'll show you the different signs we'll need and then we'll sing together. Ready? So the first sign that we need is goodbye. And I'm just going to wave my hand. Goodbye. Friends, I'm going to use my 2 pointer fingers again. I'm going to go tap, tap. Crisscross. Friends. It's time. I'm going to tap on my wrist for time. To say, point to my lips for say. Goodbye. And give a wave again for goodbye. Ready? Let's sing together. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. That was great. Thank you so much for singing with me. How about we go ahead and make a craft together now? So for today's craft, we are making our own little radios, just like Lollie had in Hop Lollipop. And to make our own radios, we are going to need a toilet paper roll. We are going to need some construction paper, any color that you like. We are going to need a pair of scissors. We're going to need some glue. You can also use some tape if you prefer. And last but not least, we are going to need some markers. You can also use crayons or color pencils, just a little something to draw with. So let's go ahead and we'll get started. So the first thing I'm going to need is my toilet paper rolls. This is going to make up the sort of body of my radio here. And I'm going to use a little bit of paper to cover this and give it some color. And for this one, I'm going to cut out a sort of a big rectangle, and it's going to be just the same size as my toilet paper roll. And you can see I can wrap it around just like that. So I'm going to put some glue on here so I can wrap it nice and tight around the toilet paper roll. And the wrapping part, that's always a really great part because that helps us build our motor skills. It helps us use our hands a lot, really get our fingers working. So I always really like doing that part when we get to roll the paper on. So I'm just covering my sheet in glue here so it will stick to the toilet paper roll. And now I'm just pressing it down. And now I'm gonna roll, roll, roll. And you can even set this on a flat surface and just push it forward like that. And it might come off a little bit at the end right there. That's okay. You can just glue it right back down. Or you can even use a little bit of tape if you really want to make sure that it stays in place. So once you have your toilet paper roll covered, we need some speakers so we can hear the sound. And for the speakers, I'm going to use 2 big circles. And to make these, I actually traced the shape of the toilet paper roll on here. And I decided to use yellow for these. So I have 1, 2 circles for the speakers. And I'm going to use my glue again and stick them right on there. And you can see I decided to do a little design on these. I made lines going crisscross to look like speakers, but you don't have to do that. You might want to do maybe some dots on your speaker, maybe a swirl, maybe circles, so you can get pretty creative. You don't necessarily have to do it this way. And that's always the fun part about doing crafts, right? There's not a right or wrong way to do it, so you can really make any kind of radio that you want. So I've got my glue on the back, so I'm just pressing this right down here, and I'm going to press this one on as well. Now there's a little bit of space right in the middle here, so I'm going to put some buttons so we can turn this radio on and off. And for the buttons part, I'm just going to use a tiny rectangle for this. And you can do sort of whatever you want for your buttons. On my first one, I did 1, 2, 3 small dots for buttons. And on this one, I decided to draw some symbols that you might see on a boombox or a radio. And that's a triangle for play, 2 lines to mean pause, and a square to mean stop. So that's what I'm going to do for this one, and I'm going to put it right there. So I'm going to get my glue and make sure my buttons stick right there. And also, if you want to, you could just draw the buttons right onto the toilet paper roll here. So there's a couple ways that you can do this. Oops. Buttons are sliding around on here. All right, so I got this, and now last but not least, I need a handle so I can carry my radio around. So for the handle, I'm going to take a long, thin rectangle, and at the very end of the rectangle, I'm just going to bend the paper a little bit, like that. And I'm going to do that at both ends. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I'm going to bend it so the folded parts are like this. And then I'm going to glue, or you can tape it, onto the radio just like that. And the little tabs will make it stay on a bit more easily. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue on the folded parts of my handle here. And once I have those on, I'm just going to stick it right onto the top. And I'm just going to use my fingers, whoops, to press this down. I'll make sure that handle stays in place. It's not going anywhere. Mine's being a little bit fidgety right now, so I'm actually going to grab a little bit of tape for this. Sometimes if the glue's a little bit slippery, tape is a good way to help whatever you're making stay right in place. So I taped one down, and now I'm just going to tape the other one down. That's the nice thing with arts and crafts too. There's always a different way to do things if something's not working. And perfect. My handle's staying on, and I am ready to travel around with my little radios. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me today and reading our stories, singing songs, and making our crafts together as well. I had a great time with you, and I will see you again, not next week. Next week you will have PJ story time with my friend Heidi. That will be on Wednesday, March 2nd at 6:30 p.m. on Facebook, so be sure to tune into that. And I will see you again on Tuesday morning on March 9th. See you later.